All right, we're back. Hold the phone. This is an amazing statistic. I'm pretty sure the study was done by IBM. But you get 3 notifications on your phone in an hour. The little blue light blinking, or whatever color light is on your phone, just the light blinking. You don't pick it up, you don't check it. You just see the light blinking 3 times. Your productivity that hour is dropped in half. And it doesn't make it's unbelievable. It doesn't have to be for a text message, it could be for an email, it doesn't matter. You get 3 of those little notifications in an hour, productivity cut in half. So, think about it. If you can cut down on those notifications, you can go from you can either produce twice as much in an hour or work half as much in your day. All right, get the same, be at same level of effectiveness. Now, I want to tell you something. I'm going to tell you to put your phone on do not disturb, but if you don't, if you don't do something about these things and you don't control your phone, it's not fair. And it's not just not fair to you, it's not fair to your family or your friends or your coworkers, because here's the deal. Let's say you say, I'm always going to answer texts from my kids. Now, what you're teaching your kid is that nobody's time is more important than their own. What you and you're not what you need to tell them is, if it's a true emergency, if you need to reach me, you call me. Otherwise, you send me a text and I will answer my text, but it might be 2 hours. All right. That's, and you tell that to your friends and anybody who you're the unimportant people, and I shouldn't say unimportant, but the less directly important people in your life, they'll learn it gradually anyways when you just don't respond. All right. But you need, and here's another thing, the reason it's not fair. So you let people interrupt you all the time. Now, you're you have to work more hours to get done what you actually need to get done. Your family ends up seeing you less, or you make less money if you get paid by commission or through productivity or something along those lines. Everybody's cheated when you let interruptions rule your life. All right, your phone. Start with that. It has a do not disturb function. Most of the time you can schedule your do not disturb. That works extremely well. And you can just give yourself some time where you're not going to get those interruptions. Now, what if you're somebody, if your job is to take calls, this isn't going to work, except you, most of the time, you can let calls go through, which is exactly what you want. If something's important, will know to call you. You let your calls ring through. You don't have anything else give you a notification, and it will work. If that's not, it is incredibly rare that that doesn't work. Now, you can choose to not use it. That's your choice. Then you have chosen to be less effective. You've chosen to be busy. If you don't do this one thing, you really don't have grounds to complain about being busy. Okay? Now, an SMS autoresponder also works pretty good. Now, I stopped using them because after I did this long enough, people got used to the idea that you send Dan a text, he's not going to answer. You really want to talk to him, you give him a call. Send him a text, it might be 2 hours, and if 2 hours is okay, that's fine. No, most of the people in my life are fine with that. Okay. But you can get autoresponders. Somebody sends you a text and it'll say something like, hey, I'm working. I'll contact you at lunch, or I'll contact you after work, or whatever. Emergency, call me. They'll learn that way. The last one, it's a huge problem, is social media. You got to get a handle on this social media thing. Most people, and it keeps getting worse. A couple of facts out there about social media. Time after time after time, studies prove that people who spend the most time on social media are also the least happy. And the least fulfilled in life. All right. So social media is a bad thing to start with if you get past a minimum on it. And secondly, most people will estimate how long they're on social media, and they'll miss it by at least half, usually more. In other words, if they say 20, it's 45. Something along that line is what is normal. You can schedule time for these. That makes it better. I'm going to do my social media at this time because social media can be a necessary part of your life. And it probably is a necessary part of a lot of people's life. Schedule it, and then don't break your schedule. If you can't do that, most apps and things that are out there can block those sites for certain times. But you got to get a handle on it. Okay, and that is hold the phone. Next up, touch it once.